Okay, everybody, let's get started. I got a question on the forum from Nightspeed asking about my hiking gear. And this is a question over on the Softy Papa channel that I've received a number of times, and I've never answered it, but I'll try to do so now. And I thought about trying to put something together to show you guys what I use, but my hiking gear is in pretty sorry state right now. I actually have two sets of gear. I have gear that I use for short day hiking, and gears that I use for longer extended, full-on, big old trips up in the mountains. Not overnight stuff. I don't do that anymore. But it's two sets. So let me start with the basics. Basically, if you're talking about hiking gear and you want to hear what I do, you're not going to get anything that toes the line in terms of standards. I don't know anything about what's recommended about bringing in the mountains. Salt tablets and appropriate amounts of water or food. Right types of food. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm utterly ignorant. So I'm just going to tell you what I've developed over the years, and hopefully it'll be more entertaining than helpful and interesting. First of all, from the earliest days, I've been hiking since I was a kid, since I was a young teenager, or before my teens. I mostly started solo. I've always been really into solo hiking, and there are three words that I've always used even from the earliest days, and those are water, warmth, and writing materials. Water, warmth, writing materials. Those three words have always served me well on all my adventures. Water, one, you will die if you become sufficiently dehydrated. Now, I grew up hiking in the Los Angeles area, and especially out in the desert, and there's no kidding. I mean, you would die in a day. I mean, die in hours. I mean, I nearly died once in probably about a 40-minute hike in Death Valley in summertime. I took a good chance on that because of the dehydration. So water, you got to have the water. Warmth. You'll die quickly also from hypothermia if you don't keep your body warm. So I've always stressed that as an important element. And third, writing materials. Let me go back to the water, warmth, and then writing. Let me build up to it. Water. So what do I carry? Here in Japan, I carry a 2-liter pack in the back. If I've got my big pack, it's one of those things that's in the back with a little straw that comes around the side, and I keep that about half full usually. If I'm going to be going out all day, I'll keep it filled up all the way. Otherwise, if it's just my day pack, I'll just have a couple of little sippy bottles of Pocari Sweat or something like that. In terms of warmth, the strategy I've used for warmth is one of layers. I typically, depending on the season, even if it's warm out, if it's summertime, I still carry a light sweater with me because things can get pretty chilly up there in the mountains. But I usually keep a t-shirt. I've got an undershirt underneath, a t-shirt on top of that, a light sweater, and a jacket to go over that. I stuff all that stuff down there, and a clean pair of socks. Sometimes I carry that as well, and a towel to dry off with. It's important to be able to dry your body when you get wet, and a towel has 1,000,001 uses. Borrowed from Douglas Adams' advice. That the most important thing to carry when traveling the universe is a towel. So I always have mine. Now let's come to the writing materials part. Hey, there he is. When it comes to the writing materials, when I'm out in the hills, the thing that when I'm out in the hills, the thing that I'm looking for, more than the woods and the trees and the like, is the inspiration that I can be found out there. There's things that can be found up here that you may not so readily find elsewhere. And it's good to have a pen and paper handy to jot those things down. And I have a library of old notebooks that I've kept from my travels in the past, and it's fun to look through those from time to time. So probably now I'd change it from www to wwv. Water, warmth, and video equipment. Yeah, I tend to use the video a lot more now. So those three things are vital. Now, when it comes now, I'm going to get into the stuff that this video probably belongs on the Softy Papa channel if it's talking about hiking stuff, but I'm not going to put it there because of the next one. I also carry, from the youngest days, I've always been armed when hiking. Now, I've never carried a gun, but I've always had a knife of some sort. And I remember for a while there I carried an axe around, not an axe, a hatchet. And first this started off with superstition and led and developed from there to a more practical safety concern. The superstition part started from when I was about 13, hiking in the Angeles National Forest in an area where Bigfoot sightings were pretty common, and I was scared. I actually did not a lot, but I did overnighting up there in the mountains. I had a little tent, and I would go up there, and I was scared. I was scared of Bigfoot. And actually saw something one night that could have been Bigfoot. I remember camping with my friend David Hall on a ridge in the middle of nowhere, bushwhacking, and the full moon night, and a humanoid figure did indeed cross in front of my tent. Heard it coming down, snapping through the brush, and crossed right in front of the tent. The moon illuminated its shape. There was a humanoid figure where no trail, no road, no nothing was out there. So maybe it was a good thing that I had my my knife under my pillow. No need to use it though. David saw it too. Okay, after that, how did it come into a more practical purpose? Well, it got to be a habit to carry a weapon of some sort, usually a knife, around. And that proved to be really beneficial later. It's more in terms of beneficial here than anywhere else, because sometimes you get a little spooked, and it helps to have, you're armed. And it can be dangerous, certainly, to have a weapon itself, but sometimes it can be maybe save your life. There was a period for about 3 or 4 years where I was spending my summers hitchhiking in my 20s, hitchhiking all around the western United States. I would go out every summer and hitchhike for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, on a month at a time, and wander all around. And I had some pretty spooky experiences with the more dangerous animals in the world, human beings. There was one point where I was kidnapped by I think it was a pretty dangerous man. Tried to kidnap me, and I was just able to escape. And I was armed then. I was ready to use it. I got away though. There was another case where I was out in the middle of Idaho, in the absolute middle of nowhere. Wound up with a freako nut in a black van, holding a massive knife to my neck while he described all the different ways that he could or would disembowel and just basically bring my bodily form to a state of destruction. I was armed then too, and he didn't know it, but I had my hand on the hilt of my knife the whole time he was doing his little diatribe. I got away from that one too, and that one scared the dickens out of me. That was the end of my hitchhiking. I also was held up once at gunpoint and robbed. I didn't have a knife then. I'm glad I didn't. That would have been folly. So anyway, the point being, I've always been armed and I'm armed now. And out here in the mountains, I'm still armed. I carry a big old stinking knife now. It's not really a knife, it's more of a gardening tool. But there are bears and boars out in these mountains, and they're actually dangerous. Bear attacks are not that uncommon. That sounds strange. Bear attacks happen here in Japan. And you're more likely to get killed by a wasp than a bear, but still it does happen. And I would not, instigate a knife fight with a bear or a boar, but if one was coming at me and about to topple me, you bet I'd go out fighting. Maybe that's folly, but what the heck. So there you go. So we have the water, we have the clothes to keep you warm, you have your towel to keep you dry, you have a weapon if you're so inclined, as I am, to have one of those. And as to other advice, here in Japan, if you're hiking around here, I carry a little tin thing that's got holes on the top where I can put katori-senko mosquito coils in and let that thing run, and it keeps the mosquitoes off of me. It's really handy. I just drop it on the side. It clunks around a little bit sometimes, but it's great. You get these battery-powered ones that you can put on your person, and they emit the odor to get the katori-senko away, the mosquitoes away. But two things happen with those. One, I've never found them to be as effective, and two, the batteries go out, and then I never change the batteries, and I'm out of the water. But if I have a pack of the incense in there, the katori incense, and I've got the thing, I'm always set. So I have that. One more thing, a map. If you're not, I've always been blessed with a good internal compass, although it's gone awry in recent years. But if you don't have that, and even if you do, have a map and make yourself familiar with the area. And third, or whatever, maybe fifth or sixth point is, when you go out, tell someone where you're going, at least roughly. I've had several cases where I nearly was incapacitated in the wilderness, and at least my friends or family knew roughly where I was. So when I take off in the mountains here, what I sometimes do is I bring up on the computer screen a Google Maps thing, and I'll leave a pin drop on the computer. And my wife, because I leave early in the morning, wife gets up, she knows I'm leaving, but she knows that if I don't come back, there's a pin showing roughly where I am. And stick to your plan. There you go. Hopefully this information has been helpful to you guys. Oh, don't forget to bring in some candy bars. They're always fun. Okay, take care everybody. Have a great day, and don't be surprised. Bye-bye.